Well, hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Happy Wednesday? Gosh, it has been so long since I've streamed. Let me know if you can hear me or if I'm breaking the audio. As always, with some technical issues, because you know, what is a stream without technical issues? I also got some new music, so let's see how that thing goes. Because last time I streamed, my Spotify went further and I got some claims that I need to fix. Hey Antonio, how are you? Thank you for joining. Oh damn, I forgot to comment the hi everyone. Hi everyone. Where is my wave emoji? There we go. Cool. Wait, let me get back to it. This is so not weird, but it's new, right? It's not new. It's I don't know what it is, but basically back. Tanmei says it's 11:30 here. I'm about to sleep. We'll watch the stream later. Okay, good night. But thanks for joining for a little bit at least. Mustafa, hi, hello. How are you? Let me know if you see if everything is all right. How have you been? Has been ages. I'm prepared with some water this time, so hopefully not gonna kill my throat. Archkid, Dan, hello. What is up? Mustafa, I don't know how to read Arabic. You would need to type that in, well, yeah, I guess in English. Otherwise, I don't know how I could read it. So, how do you like my background? I have put it on red this time. I'm not sure if it's not really, like, it's not entirely my vibe. I got a new hair, new color, new everything. So I'm thinking how it works and how it looks. But I'm definitely more into blue colors. But yeah, let's vibe with the red. So I don't know where to start. Do we straight away jump into the code? Because y'all, some of you have been texting me on Instagram saying, hey, when is the next one? Which I highly appreciate you even thinking about doing it and texted me and showing me some interest in that. So if you have been doing that, then thank you very much. I'm here. I have even organized the streams. So I have at least 8 more streams planned. I know. And honestly, all of them are gonna be about 1 page, which you'll see. But it's basically the page that we have been postponing doing because it has a lot of heavy lifting. So we're like, we're gonna do it later. And that's where we are. So today is gonna be a stream where we're gonna be doing some CSS, some grid, JavaScript, maybe not so much, and more just like easing into it, seeing what's what, and getting back on track kind of stream. Technology on Vikash says hi, hello. So, do you want to see code? Let me show you. Also, let me know if you hear me. Give me a thumbs up or something, so I will know. Hello, Abdul. Happy to see you back. The music is really like going up. Okay, also, if at some point you hear some hammers or some things falling down, just know that that's my neighbors. It's all right. They're that's how we live around here, so it just happens. But yeah. I'm trying to think if I have some updates that I want to share. Oh yeah, I've been buying some coding books to also, thanks Mohammed, to kind of like check what's out there in the books department for coding, and I landed on one very interesting book about algorithms. So I'm gonna read it a little bit more, but so far it has been pretty nice. And if you have ever like seen me talk about algorithms, I'm always the gal who says, screw algorithms, nobody needs them. But that was me being premature about what an algorithm is in general. So I'll cover that later on. I don't have much to say now because I just started the book. But yeah, algorithms are all around us. I am still of the opinion that in order to apply for jobs, you don't need to know algorithms when it comes to web development, because there is even like a tweet or a meme about it that it's like, hey, yeah, let's do, I don't know, 10 rounds of interviews about algorithms so then you can edit our HTML button. There is no necessity in that. So yeah, that's coming soon. Fatima says, hello. Abdul is asking, where do you live now? I live in the same place. I just moved the table around. That's why it's so sophisticated. There's no life update regarding where I live now. So, it's same, old, same flat, same room. Maybe you haven't seen that I colored the wall, I painted the wall. Maybe you haven't seen that, but I think you did you? I think there were a couple of streams with the wall painted. It hasn't been that long. Dana, Fatima, I really love you. I hate math and algo. Yeah, so the thing is that about like hating math and algorithms, there is like a philosophical question. Do we hate them because we have been avoiding them and we have been taught to hate them because we don't understand them and because the way we were being taught those topics were not aligning with us or something like that? So I might be going just like too deep into something that is not so deep, but just, think about it. I don't know. Vikash is saying good night. Good night. And Abdul's still in Germany. Yes, it's still Germany, still in Berlin. I was actually going to my citizenship appointment today. It has been incredibly hard to book an appointment, so I want to get the German citizenship. And I got lucky because you open like 10 browsers, and in one of them this appointment pops up and you need to be very fast and very quick in order to book it. There are only like 3 slots a week or something like that, and there's only one person for 3 districts, so it's really ridiculous. But I got lucky. I went to that appointment and the process is still not started until I gather all the documents. So now I need to do a test, which is, I call it the citizenship test. It's kind of like about German history, German rules, and all these kind of things, which is actually very helpful to learn if you're a newcomer. But I've been here for like, how long? Like 7.5 years almost. I already know most of those things, so it's more of a formality to do that. But yeah, it's I'm still in Germany and I am proceeding with getting a German citizenship because I deserve it after all those years. Mohammed is asking, any insight on algorithms like resources, preferred language? So about the preferred language, I'm not so sure because I know only JavaScript, and that's like I'm sticking to it. But I've heard that Python can be a good thing to learn algorithms with. And I'm saying I heard, it's not that I heard, I just read it like in that book that I told you. What is this song? Wait a second. What is this? I don't approve of this song. Let's go with that one. So what was I saying? Yeah, Python. If you know, I mean, in general, I guess like a language is just a language. Algorithms are what you need to learn. So I guess it doesn't really matter in which language you do that. If you already know one, then go with that one. So it's going to be more understandable to you. But apart from that, I don't know. Then resources, there is this one book. Do I have it here? No, I have it in another room. I'm not going to bring it now. It's, what is it? I think it's illustrations in algorithms or something like that. Grokken. I mean, if you Google it up, then it has like mice on the cover. And so far it's really nice. So, pretty like it. Wait, resources. Apart from this book, I also like, what is it? Code Wars? Is it Code Wars? I think so. Let me check it out. Code Wars. Code Wars. Yeah, it's Code Wars. It's also a pretty cool resource, and I think it's worth checking. So let me check the chat real quick before we continue. Should I learn Next.js? Sure, why not? I think Next.js is a pretty cool framework, and it's kind of like more realistic into how you're going to be using code if you build websites for businesses. Because just like, so I would learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and then I would learn React, and then I would learn Next.js in that order. And the reason for that is that Next.js is just kind of like a framework on top React, I think. Because I know that you can use React with the Next.js, so I think that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, just go in that direction, and Next.js is pretty cool. I really like it. And I think in the new version, they also add Jest, which is a testing library to be supported natively, which is awesome because the less configuration you need to deal with is the best. Is better. Abdelmula says, hi, hello. Sachin says, after ages, finally the series get continued. Yes, I know. We're back. Until some other crap hits the fan, but that's just life. You said Code Wars, a website? Yes, Code Wars is a website. And the book is Grokking Algorithms? Yes, that one. I really like it. I was reading it today at my hairdresser appointment. So I think it's quite an easy read and an interesting one, and it does go like with math things, but not like, oh my god, I want to close this book kind of math. But again, I'm just on chapter 1, okay, so I don't know. Aren't you concerned about what's happening in Ukraine? Well, obviously I'm concerned. Sometimes I don't sleep at night because of that. Next.js is a Node.js framework which use ReactJS in the front end. Right, okay. Thank you, you're welcome. And I'm gonna update you once I kind of like go through reading. Oh, I have another book here, wait. This one I have. It's called, can you see it? Yeah. So it's Designing Data-Intensive Applications. And I saw that many people were recommending it. And you know how it starts? You buy one book and then you're just like, this one also looks nice and this one also looks nice. That's how I got this one. And I also have the Ultimate JavaScript something. So yeah, that one. Yeah. I have a lot of homework to do basically. Federico says, hello, I follow you since a month and you helped me a lot in develop better apps. Thank you so much. Yay! Thank you, Federico. Thank you so much for saying that. Really appreciate it. And happy to see you here in the live stream. Abdul says, I hate books. Well, I cannot help you with that. I mean, if that's not the way how you learn, then that's absolutely fine. That's why I guess there are streams, there are videos, and there are other things, because not everybody wants to go through books. I also didn't want to read any books in the beginning. So now I'm on my 4th year of like coding professionally, and only now I feel that I'm ready to go to these books that I showed you. Before that, I was really into build, code, because otherwise, like, I cannot deal with just theory. Like, I really need to code. And I think that especially with programming and coding, that's kind of like how your skill gets solidified or better. And I'm not the only one saying that. Like, if you look online, everybody is saying that. So theory is good. And if you could do both, that's even better. But if you need to choose one, I would say in the beginning, well, of course you need some theory in order to know what to code. But, you know, I wouldn't go, hey, Getulio, thank you for the sub. I wouldn't go too deep in theory, because also that's actually another thing that with courses, for example, why I started this series of like code along tutorials with like streaming, because if I could make you stream with me, code with me, or maybe after the stream you can code it by yourself, but you can see how the process is going, then this is sort of like, where did I start talking about? Like, what did I start talking about? Practice, streaming. Anyway, I think you got my point, right? And I'm just repeating things. I just got distracted. Hi Dana, happy to see you again. Hi Asma. Yes, I'm so happy to be live again. It's really nice. You're welcome. Thank you. I learn better from videos than documentational. Yeah, especially if documentation, I mean, everything is written by humans, right? So we're all different. The way how we understand code is different. The way how we learn is different. So imagine without having like a good base in coding and going through documentation several times, I think it's quite hard to dive into documentation. At least it was for me. I don't know. Maybe that's why it was not really an option for me to go for books, docs, and things like that. I mean, even reading the basic API docs, like I didn't even understand where you get like the path from. So, yeah, that was my point before, that this is why I make all those coding tutorials, in order to kind of like guide you through those things and show you how to go through the difficulties, how to train the problem solving, and not only on stream, but also the API challenge that I have. That one especially, with like reading docs and kind of inventing your own way of apps, what to do with those after you read those docs. Does that make sense? I think it does. How had the what I can do to get out of the tutorial hell. Right, that was my point. So when you're doing tons of tutorials, it's, now I'm remembering my point. Wait a second. So I was saying that reading a lot of theory and doing a lot of reading can also compromise your progress on coding, in terms of you get so overwhelmed that you want to continue. Also, you're kind of like, you're getting stuck, right? Because you don't know if you learned enough to start coding, and there's so much to learn, and you're like, oh, when's what, you know? And that's also tricky with the tutorial hell, because if you're just watching tutorials without coding them or without coding along, then that's when it's sort of equivalent to learning only theory, because you're not getting to code. You are not dealing with the problems that your code is giving you. You're just watching how somebody else is doing that. And while that's good, because it's also, you know, observation and learning from others and how they're doing, but if you're not gonna be coding yourself things, you're not gonna get out from this tutorial hell. So you need to find the balance where you can step in. And I know it's scary, I know it's frightening, but there's no way out of it. Like, there is just one way in. You have to start coding, and that's when I come in. So that's why I created those things. That's why I keep on creating those things, because I want you to get more comfortable with coding, see me fail, see me get stuck, and hopefully see that nobody knows it all, because nobody really knows it all, you know. What was the most difficult challenge you faced when you learned how to code? Ooh. Which one? What was the most difficult one? I think one of the most difficult ones was dealing with real application. So once you're doing like your code, you're coding with peers, maybe in a boot camp or like in an online community or somewhere, and then you land a job and you have to deal like with somebody else's code that can be maybe very old code, or they have their own understanding, they don't have patience for you or something. That was quite challenging to get over it. It was like, that's the moment when it hit me, because I was like in this go mode, and then suddenly you're like at the job in front of the computer, you see files and you have no freaking clue what is going on and what are you doing there. So that was like one of the challenges, and probably like getting comfortable with not knowing things. So in the beginning, it's fine not to know things because you're new, right? And yes, it's bothering you because you're getting out of your comfort zone, but you're also not so, or at least I gave myself this time to learn and not to be too hard on myself, because you're learning, you're new to something, you're learning, so it's okay not to know things. But then once you're like 2-3 years into it and you still don't know some things, you're just like, I need to stop even thinking about those things, you know, because you might be an amazing employee who is working in a very specific code base and you know every corner of that code base. But then let's say if you go to, I don't know, to a conference and then you see all these React, Vue, Angular and everything, and you feel like you know nothing. But that doesn't mean that you don't know nothing, that you don't know anything, because you are actually a specialist in that specific field. So, you know, it's kind of like the challenge is not to let the overwhelm of all the tech that exists and that evolves by the second get to you. I guess that's also one of the challenges that I faced later on. And I guess I'm also challenged by why nobody is talking about testing and where does everybody learn testing. That's still a mystery to me. Then I found a streamer online like you. The guy is so bad at coding, but he's so awesome. He built real application. Well, maybe he's also learning, or maybe that's his way of coding. Interesting. But hey, as long as he gets the thing done, it's really. So there's like also the thing of code for a developer, and then code that brings you products and what businesses need, right? So I guess there needs to be like a, how do you call it? A golden light? No. Basically, you need to meet somewhere in the middle. Hey Elias, how are you? Do projects help you learn, and do projects on your own without courses? I think every project helps you learn. As long as you like really merge yourself into the project. It could still be like an online tutorial that you're doing, but you need to code along. You need to do it yourself as well. Like this needs to type, you know? And I mean, doing, you're gonna face problems, you're gonna face issues, you're gonna train your problem solving skills, and I guess that's the main thing that is gonna grow your skill. Projects on your own without courses, that's a heck of a challenge, but definitely any project that you're gonna do is gonna give you something. So go for it. So, shall we maybe start coding? We can also continue chatting. We can do everything together, right? In parallel. We don't need to do or. So, let me prepare first my terminal before I switch screens. Just so I have everything running and you don't need to get bored with that. Federico says, well, my case is similar because I learned Java at university, but I want to learn front end, I guess. So I learned React by myself, but when I have to apply for a job, well, there is a lot that I don't know yet, but well, yeah. But that's also another thing, right? Some job descriptions, they're insane. Like, they're really insane. I have no freaking idea who makes these job descriptions, because I would say like 70% of them make no sense at all. Like, no sense at all. And that's so bad, because as a person who just comes to the industry, you would think that that's the standard, and it's not. And also, like, when people, so like when, I don't know who writes those job descriptions, right? But let's say there's the person who writes the job description and they require backend, frontend, DevOps, this, that. Like, that's a whole department. That's not just one person. And also, which level of familiarity do you need to have with this technology? Like, it's insane, really, what's going on out there. But I know, did I have it or somebody else have it? I don't remember, but there was a case when somebody was at an interview and they were asked questions about React. And luckily the person did know React and they were answering and everything. Yeah, that was not me, that was somebody else. And at the end, that person was like, oh, so you're using React? And they're like, no. Why the hell you're asking that? It's like, I just don't know what to say when people do that. So, you know, you need to also see what's feasible, or if you don't know what's the industry standard in real life, then feel free to reach out and I'll tell you if something is a complete bullshit or not. Because, I mean, of course, I don't know everything as well, but I could assess if it even makes sense to ask from a person to know something like that, you know? I hope I can help. So, wait a second. Let me merge my browsers. Oh no, that's not the browser I wanted to merge. Wait. So, where are you? There you are. Let me say that it gives me hope. Thank you for the tip. No problem. Thank you for saying that. No problem. And after that, you get rejected because you don't know everything. Yeah, exactly. I mean, but that's just like stupid. Like, if you get rejected from jobs like that, just like good riddance, whatever. Like, it's good you didn't work there, because it just means that they don't even know what they want. So, whatever. Next. Oh no, I have so many tabs. I don't even know where is my tab. Is that this one? Okay, let me try. Okay, cool. I'm just checking that I'm not gonna expose something on the screen that is not for the public eye. Like bank account or something, you know? Let's see, the page is running. Yeah, okay. So, okay, last question. Gituli is saying, how does it take to learn React if you already know the basics of JavaScript? You mean how long? I mean, how long it depends, right, on how good your base is and how comfortable you are with JavaScript and how fast you're learning and how much time you can dedicate to learn. I would say that if you have like, you feel comfortable enough in JavaScript, like you can do loops, call functions, returns, variables, do some JavaScript in HTML, you know, through jQuery or maybe like document.query selector and things like that. Then I would say that learning, like that's a good base to learn React, and it should be, I don't know, you'll catch the concept fairly easily, I would say. But also React can be quite complex, so it depends which level of React. In order to build like a tiny application like we built, I think like by building one project like that, you could get really well familiarized with React. So depends how much time you have. Abdul was saying, I never worked as a programmer. I don't know why I learned all these languages. Well, but then did you intend to learn the languages in order to work as a programmer, or what's your path? Because I mean, you could also just learn them for fun, right? I guess people do that. So let me show you the stream, the coding part. Chat is a little bit overflowing here. Let me move it. Should be good right here. So I learned them just for fun. Well done, kudos. That's pretty cool. I mean, why not? It's a pretty nice hobby, I would say, right? I like getting paid for that. That's why I went and got myself a job. Well, no, my story is a little bit more deep than that, but anywho, look at our beautiful, beautiful website. Our tiny babe. It's, of course, responsive. You know, there you go, there you go. Boom, boom, boom. Why are no products loaded? Excuse me? Do we start with a bug? Network error? What? Why? Hello? Wait, why? Internal redirect? No. Wait a second, let me try and go to the API. Let's see if I can... Oh no, Heroku! So the API is being served through Heroku, and I cannot even do a fetch of it. Our whole stream depends on... Well, no, not really. You see, that's what I'm seeing. Oh my god, what's up with this music? I don't want words, I just want sounds. Just know. Why is it so hard to do like coding music? Otherwise, you know, like I need to talk, I need to think, and I need to listen. That's too much. So, yeah, look at this. Bummer. It's not close. So I have the same issue actually with my project. So I have the weather app API, which I have in jQuery and in React. And in order to, basically, in order for it to work, I also have a Heroku server that you call. And if you are using the Heroku server a lot, they have something called dynos. And if you use your limit, the free limit, then they shut it off until the end of the month. And since it's the 23rd of February, and if y'all been doing this stream and the series beforehand, then there is a chance that we all maxed it out. So it's not the course. Hey, Design Duck. I mean, the course in the API challenge in the weather, yeah, that's the server. But this one is just, it's down, so. However, I planned for today some CSS fun, so we don't even need that, you know? Find some 8-bit music, it's awesome. Yeah, that's true. But I just like got some epidemic sounds. I'm trying them out. Let's see. So the server is down, could use Firebase instead. But the API is not mine. The API, we take it from somebody else. So there's the makeup API. And that's what we took. This one. It doesn't even load like the generic path. That's why backend is better. You control the data. Data is much important. But that has no relationship to backend or frontend. Just the API is not working. It doesn't matter. You could still do backend. You could still do frontend. Like you're missing a point that you're calling to give you data. So it's not like, it's not. Anyhow, here you should see top products, and we're not gonna see them today, which is fine because we can continue doing some other stuff. I just wonder when that's gonna be fixed, because otherwise we have some troubles, and I don't want those troubles, you know. Although this gives us some opportunity to be like, hey, if there is nothing here, then, you know, don't show that. We can do that later. Do you mean the actual API is that? Yeah. So the API is hosted on Heroku, and it looks like the server is dead because it cannot find it. Sucks. Big time, but we're gonna make it work. You can create your makeup database and make an API provider for your app. Yeah, of course, I know I can, but it's just so time consuming. Like, I would, you know, just use tools that are available to us already. Because the whole point is to use an external API that already exists, that we need to read the docs and we need to figure out how to use it. Okferdy says, that's totally fine. It's not up to you, nor can you do anything to make it work. So I'm up for CSS fun. Yeah, that's the spirit. Cool. How you can send data from backend to frontend? Through API calls. Matty Mac says, hello. Hello. Welcome. So, shall we do some CSS fun? Okay, and then let's just create a simple JSON file with the data you want. No, wait, we don't need it today. That's even better. We just go to our search and we're gonna build the skeleton that is going to prepare, that is going to be prepared to receive data later on. So it's okay. Hey, Musbahi, how are you? So we're actually still on track. We don't care about the data today. It's all right. Hope everything is good. Yes, it's all right. How about you? Let me grab a sip of water. Okay. Well, what will we do without the API? The app will not function, right? The thing is that we have a lot of static content. Okay, let's go to the design. So I'll show you what I mean. Beautiful photo, right? So our design, here it is. And we're gonna be building the page of the search. So essentially this part. Let me make it bigger. So what I wanna do is we need to have a component like this, a component like this, and whoops, sorry, and some drop downs. So first, how do I zoom out here? First, we need to create the skeleton of this page, you know, Then we need to create this component. So essentially like the sidebar. I don't know if you can see it, if it gives you like the contrast enough, but this is gray and the rest of the page is white. So let's call this thing a sidebar. That's what we're going to create. I already have some categories that I took already from the API in advance, so that's okay. We're going to be hard coding them. And then we have some drop downs. So this we could definitely do without any API. It's just CSS. So we're good. Is this your design? No, that's by Piotr Medycki. It's in the description box below. You can see we found him on Behance and took his design. Mohammed is saying, hi Dana, how are you? Watching you from Pakistan. Well, hello Pakistan. It must be late there, right? I'm all right. How are you? Happy to be back to streaming and terrorizing you with my voice. All right. So we set a grid, and the grid is going to be, so we're going to have a sidebar, then the drop downs, and then the results. Right? Or we're gonna have something else. Wait, let me check. Because I already prepared it before. I did it in order to save you the headache of seeing me figuring things out and struggling with that. So I did some preparation, okay? This time I came prepared. And since we're gonna be going into more complex things, I'm gonna spare you the I don't know, like I did in the beginning. And I'm still gonna face issues, so don't worry. You're gonna have your share of problems with me figuring things out, but some things are gonna be more structured. Okay, so first we need to go to our page search, and this is essentially what we're seeing here, because you see it's localhost 3000 where we're in the app/search. We have our routing for us, and that's where we land. So what do we want to do? Let me put my organize. I need another screen, guys. I have two screens. I need a third one. I really want it. Have you seen on Instagram my reel about Brianna? I'm sitting on Brianna right now, introducing you my ladies. Yeah, so gonna get a new lady monitor. How can I contact you if I have any problem? If it's about the stream, then just drop a comment so everybody can also read it if they're facing it. That would be the most the best place to do that. All right. Shall we? We shall. So let's start. I said that we want to have sidebar, header, and a main. So the sidebar is going to be the sidebar, the header is going to be for the drop downs, and the main is going to be for the results. So what we're going to do, oh my god, 6 months ago. Wow, it has been a while. So let's create, so we have our main div, and then let's do 3 of them. Let's do top bar, or for sidebar, and then another one results. Oops, dot results. If you do dot results and then I press on tab on my keyboard, then it's Emmet kicking in and auto completing the magic, sorta. Okay, this music is again bothering me. I need to figure out something with the music. I had a good playlist, but it's kind of became repetitive. Wait, Mohammed is saying, okay, I watched your videos. You teach very well. I'm front-end React developer working on chat app. Oh, yay, cool. Thank you so much. Maddie Max is asking, have you considered doing your own API? That way you're not dependent on the other ones. I'm thinking Rapid API maybe. Actually, I never thought of creating the own API because I mentioned that the whole sense was using like an external API. We will learn how to work with it and we'll work within the constraints of the API that is given to us, because I find it actually to be a more realistic scenario than creating our own API. Although creating our own API is also a good learning experience, but especially as a, well, I don't know as a web dev, but especially as a front-end web dev, you're most likely going to be dealing with some APIs that somebody's just given to you, you know, and then you kind of like need to figure out what to do with it. So that's why I thought that let's go with that one. I need to find another music. Like this is insane. Wait a sec. Oh, what is happening at the end of the, what about this one? Because, you know, you also cannot have copyrights and everything. So finding music is also a challenge by itself. All right. So we have a sidebar, a top bar, and results. Let's put just like sidebar, top bar, and results. Oh, tell me if you see the font well, because I think usually you prefer it more large. Wait a second, where's my font? Here it is. Is this better? Is this too much? Maybe 20? Like that? Let me close the sidebar. Okay, I think now it should be good. Hey Brenda! Hey! Thank you for joining! I think you're first out here, right, on the stream. The font's fine. Okay. So that's what we see. Sidebar, top bar, and results. And let me then put the design at the bottom so we could see what we want to build. So the structure is kind of like 1, 2, 3. I don't know if you got it, if you got what I meant from my cursor, but let's go. Could just use Control plus minus. No, I could not, because Control plus minus enlarges the whole editor, also the name of the files and everything, and that's not what I want to do. Yes, it's my first time. Welcome. Okay, so a Lofi playlist would be nice too. I know, I was trying to find it. Now some Swedish sound therapy is playing. That's also not bad. I used to have lo-fi music, but now I'm trying new music. Don't try new things. that's the conclusion we have today. So we have the sidebar, top bar, and results. As you can see, they're just like stacked on top of each other, but that's not what we want. We want something else. And for that, we are going to go to our index CSS. I think I'm gonna sneeze. No, okay, good. So we're gonna go to our index CSS, and we are going to use grid for that, because this scenario, am I gonna sneeze? No, because this scenario is perfect for a grid. You want to define specifically where each element needs to kind of like stay. It doesn't need to move. It doesn't matter. Well, it probably matters on the screen which you get, but for now it can be just like that. We're gonna do responsive later, not one thing at a time. Oh, by the way, regarding playlist, I used to listen to Spotify playlists with synth beats, lofi or lo-fi, at work, and oh well, it messed up my whole Spotify wrap at the end of the year. Yeah, I know. It's almost as if like you need like your separate Spotify for work profile, and then like Spotify for life profile. I totally get it. Actually the streams messed up my Spotify Wrapped because they thought that I like only EDM and lo-fi and some rudimental in between. But I have a more diverse music taste. Anyway, it is what it is. Maybe we should submit a feedback to Spotify and be like, hey, if we're listening to that from 8 o'clock until 4 p.m., then don't add it to your Wrapped. Or like train your algorithms to figure out that it's like Spotify work Wrapped. So let me also add a class name to this called search, because if I have just sidebar, top bar, and results, I don't want to accidentally override it somewhere else, because sidebar and top bar are quite generic names. So it could happen that we will accidentally overwrite something that we don't want to overwrite. Okay, let's get back to our index CSS. Okay, so I played around with it and I came to the conclusion that this following solution looks the best and the most accurate. Motivation maxed out JavaScript. Wow, I watch your channel videos and now you're alive. Wow, awesome. Yes, I am. Hi, I'm a real person. I do go out live. It's not a myth. It just took me ages to gather my power again and to, you know, get into it. Because a lot of stuff in life have happened and they still keep on happening, but I kind of like eased, you know, or maybe that's my coping mechanism. Anyway, that's not what the stream is about. What theme do you have in your VS Code? Oh, let me tell you. Actually, it's bearded theme Monokai Terra. They have like a whole bunch of them. The bearded theme package. But yeah, I change it almost every day. It's a mess. I like it, but there are some files when the syntax is meh. So I'm still trying to find. I figure that probably eventually at the end you need to create your own theme. As with everything, you know. But it's fine. So let's go. Display. Wow, I wrote it right. So usually I write display and it goes to production. Anyway, we're going display grid. And we want to define a sidebar. So this one that is going to have a set width. I like the pink. Yeah, the pink is nice, right? I like that it has these accents. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to do grid template columns. We need to define that. And we're going to specify that the first column is going to be 250 pixels, which is our sidebar. And then the rest is going to be just auto. Whatever you have, give it to us. But ensure that the left element that is in that column is going to be maxed to 250 pixels. Then we need to define our rows because we have kind of like we have a sidebar, a header, and results. So we have a column and a column, and a row and a row. So our row is going to be grid template rows. Let's give it to that auto though, because for now, do we want to define a height? Let's add a to. How do you comment in CSS like this? To do. Check the height, just to remind ourselves that maybe I did something funky there and we need to change it. If YouTube is used for your coping mechanisms, we should give you more stuff to do to see more of it. Yeah, that's true. I don't mind. If you have any ideas what you want to see next, I'm all ears. I need this stuff because I also learn, you know, I'm also having fun, I'm learning, and I think we're all having like a win-win here, plus my coping mechanism. Okay, then we have, oh, sorry if the camera is shaky. I think I need to put the camera on a separate stand because now it's attached to the table and I have this standing desk and it's like, you see, it's like there is an earthquake every day. Anyway, if the camera is shaking, apologies, you know what's happening. Then, in order for our sidebar to actually go within our column and not like to spread somewhere else, we can specifically define with the grid where we want which element to go. So grid template areas, and it's funny how you define it. Not none, no. So you open a string and you write, you name your areas. So in our case, it's going to be sidebar and then sidebar. We're gonna have something more. But what I mean by that is that this represents one row and then you have another row. And in our case, this one is our column. You do a space and then you have another column. So you get it? That's the grid. So this one is going to be our header, top bar, and then result. So if we save it, why did I expect something to happen? Wait a second, we're still not done. What? No, it did something, but it didn't do what we want. It just did something funky. It just basically took, okay, you have two columns, so this goes to one column, this to another one, and then we start another column. But we want this to also be sidebar, and the results need to move here. You know what I mean? I think you know what I mean. Getulio says, I always get in trouble when I'm trying to make a navbar with each topic side by side on right and top of the screen. Which display property should I use? Inline block, or is there a better way? Flex, I'd say. Wait a second. When I'm trying to make an navbar with each topic side by side, so you have like a navbar on desktop and then and you have there like links like these ones, and then let's say once it's shrunk, then you have it one under another. Is that what you need? Or not? Flexbox is always my go-to for navbars. Yeah. Especially if you need to like put, let's say, a brand here and this here. So you just like space it. You put this thing in a separate div. So you have one div for this, and then this something, and this a div. This whole three elements a div. You space between. And then inside of here, you do justify content between. Yes. Okay. So I would also go with flex as the majority here. And once you're in the smaller screen, so when you have it one on top of each other, you can just change the direction of the flex to be a column, and you still align it in the center. Just be careful that when you change it to a column, your justify content and align items, they kind of like swap the axes. You know, so one goes with X and another one goes with Y. If you compare it to the flex row, which is usually the default. I hope that makes sense. Nice, madam. Thank you, mister. Or sir. I don't know. What do you answer to madam? Okay. How do we get those things into, so basically this and this works, right? But we want to move this one, and we're not gonna only move the results into the correct container. We're gonna put all of our items in their correct containers. So how do we do that? You remember that just 5 minutes ago we made some divs with their class names, and we're gonna be using those class names. So we're gonna use sidebar, toolbar, and results in order to in CSS tell where does this element need to go. So you would do search dot top bar, and I do dot search dot top bar just in order to be certain that I am targeting the right element, and since it's a global CSS file within the application, that I'm not gonna go affect any other class name or component. So then we need to define grid area, and it's gonna be top bar. Then, well, okay, let's not copy, let's actually type it. Search and then dot sidebar grid area sidebar. And if I'm not mistaken, the results are gonna move now because we have already defined that the sidebar is taking the whole left column. Yeah, nice. Nice. But in order to be consistent and in order not to create ourselves some bugs later on, because who knows how that can fire back or backfire. Results. Nothing changed. Yay, cool. So we have the thing. Now, what do we want to do next? Let me check. So let's maybe design our little component here. What do you say? Because we're doing CSS. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the chat. I'm happy to talk. So well, that music is not too bad. It's kind of like synthwave. Ariana Grande though. Okay. Component. Let's create in the sidebar. Let's create a sidebar component in general. So, okay, fine. Let's keep it for now here. By the way, you know what I don't like about this theme is that I don't see the difference between tags and text in JS6, and that's a little bit confusing because sometimes I'm just like, wait, did I not close like a tag or something? So that's not ideal. Motivation maxed out said I had an MDN link that said you needed to put a period if it was the same column or something. Oh, really? Wait, like in the grid area then? You mean here? But that kind of like would mean that, hey, it's occupied, right? It's in the MDN. Yeah, we can go to MDN grid. This dot? Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Oh, you could do it like that. I do prefer having it like this in order to, once I had like something like this, you know, and it was just more readable when you actually have all of those things. But I guess in this case, I could understand why you would do that with the dot. But yeah, good to know. That would be confusing actually. Yeah, right? What is happening again to me? So you see, I just said that the music is nice and then it starts like doing something weird again. Next. Fragile Stevie is playing now for us. Okay. Where were we? Why do I have the settings? I don't need the settings. Like this, search. Right, so we were creating the component. Let's go to our components. We have a sidebar because I have created it. So in the sidebar, if you don't have the sidebar, which you probably don't have, please create a folder in the components called sidebar camel cased, and inside of it create index.js, not comma.js but .js, and do export default import blah 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 sidebar. I have a shortcut for it because I cannot keep on typing this import something from something, export default something. So I just set up an EDC and voila. And now I want sidebar.jsx. There we go. And for that I have RCC, which is sidebar. Another shortcut because I cannot keep on typing these things. Yeah, maybe, but it was a solution since at the time she didn't have any. Haha, she found a simpler one. Yay. Oh wait, I thought Brenda meant the tags, like the theme, so that these stuff are like the same color. What did you mean? Did you mean the dot or did you mean the theme? Or maybe both. Okay, so sidebar with a capital. So now if we import this sidebar here, sidebar copy, excuse me? What you talking about here? What is this? What is this? I don't have a sidebar copy. What? Yes, the tag log. Yeah. What did I do? Oh, right, I didn't save it. There we go. So now sidebar is camel case, so we know that it's coming from our component. I thought random in the dot. Oops, my bad. No problem. The chat is I think it's a little bit out of sync with me. As always, you know, we start on the same pace and then internet happens. So would love to see a video on the shortcuts you have for VS Code. Yeah, I could do one, like a short one. I think I only have two. This EDC and the other one, but I could probably have a video, like a short one, to explain how to create them, because it's actually quite easy to create them after you read all the docs, but the creation of them is simple. So yeah, I'll note it down somewhere. Where are my notes? There is. Have you seen, I'm sorry, was that too aggressive? Have you seen my I have like a new notebook called Wipebook. I was actually gifted that thing. I even showed an ad on Instagram, and it's a whiteboard. So you can have like a pen and a whiteboard. Wait a second, and you're like tick 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 tick, and then you're like boop 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 boop. Well, in a better way. Basically, you can remove your notes, which is freaking awesome because it saves you paper, but it also allows you to do some kind of like whiteboard thingies. So let me write videos. And now the music is not playing. Wow. What happened? Best of 2021. Let's figure out. So create shortcuts. Okay, I noted it down. Thank you. So then we have a Achilles is saying hi from Vietnam. It's 2 a.m. here. Wow. Thanks for creating weather app with React. Yay. Thank you so much. Happy that it helped. It's easy to create the VS Code shortcuts after reading all the 50 pages of docs, you say. No, but it's true. Sorry. I think it was like, I don't know, maybe I was tired, but I remember that it was kind of like, it was straightforward, but not straightforward. And then once you figure it out, it's just like, oh, right, that was kind of easy. But I think it's always nicer when somebody else reads the docs for you and then just tells you how to do it, right? So then like you don't need to waste the time doing that. Hello from Bangladesh. Hello, Romel. How are you? What time is it in Bangladesh? We have 2 a.m. in Vietnam. Who can beat that up? Are the docs good? I mean, so once you find the doc that you need, probably yes. 1:15 a.m. Wow. Hello from Nigeria. Hello, James. So, what time is it in Nigeria? It's probably around the same time that it's here, right? I think we're like in the same time zone, sort of. Jenny is saying, good to see you live again. Yes, I'm alive. Thank you. Freddy says, I love how real it is watching you code. I know those, oh, I forgot to save mistakes by heart myself. Not to mention the absolute classics, forgetting to link the style sheet, etc. Of course. Yeah, that's the classics. Luckily in React, you don't have that though. Much, right? Because like you have like sort of package JSONs and things, although maybe you do have. But my classic in React is writing class instead of class name. Happens every time. 2:15 p.m. from Canada. Okay. Akira says, have a nice day. I have to go to bed. Good night. 8:15 p.m. in Nigeria. Same here. Yeah, so we're in the same time zone. Are you creating backend for makeup website? No backend. This is purely front end, but we are gonna have state management on this page actually, and that's planned. Let me check when. I'm checking my schedule. Where is it? Well, I actually set it up to be the next one, but since the API is down, I'm not sure if we will be able to do that. So I will see. Maybe we can continue with some CSS this week. And then next week we can do the state management. But we're gonna see. We're rolling with whatever life throws at us. Where are you now? I'm in Berlin, Germany. Forgetting to import or export something. Yeah, that's also a good one. That always happens. So many things happen all the time. Okay, so our sidebar. What did I want to do with it? So I want to have two components here. I want to have the price range thingy, so the select price here that we see, and the sidebar itself. So let's call it price range. See, everything is blue and it's just confusing. It's like writing a string that never ends, kind of. And then we want to have categories. Bar, because everything is a bar, right? Where am I gonna jump now? Or when you accidentally delete a curly bracket. Yeah, that one is the most annoying one because then you have to figure out where it's missing. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Especially if like in React, you have the React, the return, and then you open, like you write JavaScript and then there is a loop. And then within that loop, you have something else. So it's just like, fuck my life. Like, why do I need these brackets? Just like the code editor should be intelligent enough to even add those brackets, right? Like that would be the next level of intelligence. It's gonna save us so much time. And that's why I don't know if that's me or that's by default, but I have an extension called rainbow brackets, I think. Is it? Bracket, how do you write brackets? With CK, brackets. Yeah, here. What? No, wait. Bracket pair. So it actually shows like the different colors of the brackets, because otherwise they're just like, what the hell? Good job, Dana. Yay, thank you. Yes, it's going to be available for download. If you mean the code, then yes, it's on GitHub, and after every stream I push it to the code along repository. And the link is in the description box below. If you're in Berlin, can you say something awesome in German or something? That would be awesome to hear, because I kind of hear an accent in your voice. Oh, but I'm not German. Yeah, I can only tell you, wait. So the first word that I learned in German was Krankenkasseversicherung, which is basically the most essential thing that you need in Germany. And it's a health insurance. Like if you can change double quotes to single quotes, you can add my missing bracket. Yeah, exactly, right? Yes, I have that extension as well, lol, but sometimes when it's a nested loop or if else statement, the brackets are always... Yeah, you're right, that's true. It's like the brackets already gave up by themselves. You know, they're like, they don't even know which color they need to be. So how can we figure it out? Maybe it's late to ask, but what's better, Bootstrap or Tailwind? So those are two different things, actually. I mean, they're not, but they are. Bootstrap it's more like a component-based styling. So for example, if you would put a class called button, it would already give you a predefined styling. Tailwind, on the other hand, is a util-based library. So it means that you need to construct this button yourself, but you have many more options to do so. Wait a second, I need to plug in my laptop to charge, because apparently it's not charging for some reason, and I don't want to drop out of the stream. Are we still alive? I guess so. So yeah, Bootstrap and Tailwind, they are a little bit different in that regard. So if you want something that is super templatey and just like quick, then go with Bootstrap, I guess. But if you have a little bit of time to figure things out, then I would go with Tailwind, because you can customize it way more than Bootstrap. And also Tailwind, when you compile it, so when you deploy it to production, it actually does magic. Well, it's not magic, but I'm going to call it magic because I'm not going to explain what it is, and I don't know like how it does it. So we call it magic, but it's not magic. It's actually a proper thing. It removes all the styling. So when you load a package to your code, to your repository, it has a certain weight, right? And it has all the options that Tailwind gives you. What Tailwind does is that once you deploy it to production, or once you have build files for production, then it kind of strips down everything that you're not using in your code, which makes it super lightweight. Well, unless you're obviously using the whole Tailwind, but you probably don't. you know, so it's a good thing to reduce your bundle size. Always from Pakistan. This first time watching you live coding. How many years experience do you have? I'm on my 4th year of professional experience. Can't believe it has been already almost 4 years. It's insane. Your laptop is not charging because the chat takes too much of it. No, you know what? It's actually, so I have like 2 monitors and my laptop is closed. I like having the lid closed and it's just like stored in the vertical position. And I didn't want to handle all the dongles that Apple gives you because you need like 5, I even have it here. Like, let me show you, like these things. I couldn't have, like, the desk was full of them. And I got myself a USB-C hub that's supposed to like handle all of these things. And it does until I'm using OBS. And OBS is my software which I'm using for streaming or recording videos. And that's super weird. So I don't understand why, but like my battery for some reason is not charging when I'm streaming and using the deck. Go figure. So I have like 2 chargers now, which is fine. I have them. Bootstrap is components. Tailwind is small parts for making own components. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. That's great. I use Bootstrap, but now that I see Tailwind and after what you explained, maybe I will learn Tailwind. Thank you for the answer, Dara. No problem. Yeah, I'm also kind of like in the middle of learning Tailwind because it's like it's so broad and there is so much that I'm trying like to find a way, my way of working with Tailwind. But I think it's definitely worth learning. It's pretty cool. And also, we actually had like a hackathon at work, kind of, and we also decided to use Tailwind. And the cool thing about Tailwind is that, so wait, let me show you first here. How you're using Tailwind is that you have, for example, text, you can do dash. Why is it not auto-completing? Color, BG. Okay, IntelliSense doesn't want to do, but anyway, you would do something like BG yellow. You see? Now it's background yellow. But let's say you have your custom color of pinky. Yeah, and you say pink. I don't know if that's gonna work, but let's roll with it. So you say pinky key, and then you go here and you can do pinky key. Refresh it, let it recompile. There you go. And look, this is very powerful. Do you like the docs? I've wanted to learn Tailwind as well. Yeah, so the docs are really kind of like, you need to search what you want. With Bootstrap, I found it a little bit easier, but with Tailwind, it's really like tiny snippets of really like the code itself, not the code, the class itself. So you kind of like need to go the extra mile with the imagination of what you want to build and which classes you need, kind of, you know, because I come from Bootstrap, and for me, for example, a button is a button. I don't need to think about the border, the hover, I don't know, the ring around it, the shadow when I hover on it, the cursor when I hover on it. In Tailwind, you do need. So that's one side. But you also learn to understand that those things don't come just like that, right? Like while I was using Bootstrap, I was thinking that, oh, that's probably just like a native behavior. It's not. I also asked because I'm from Argentina and the jobs here I saw a lot of Tailwind and I wasn't sure to learn. Yeah. I think Tailwind is getting attraction in general, overall. I see many jobs I didn't check that many jobs, but like from what I see sometimes. I have 3 years of experience, but as full stack with Laravel. What's your view about Laravel with React? I think Vue is made for Laravel, right? I don't know Laravel. I don't have an opinion then. I cannot give an opinion on something I don't know. Have you tried Material UI? I've heard of it. I think I tried it once long time ago. But then I went with Bootstrap. So that's my whole experience with it. Is it good? Do you like using it? I think it's kind of more similar to Tailwind, right? Rather than Bootstrap. No, really? Wait. Material UI. That's a big no there. What did they say? The React UI library you always wanted. Oh, okay, yeah, that's not Tailwind, right? I like it when they give like files to use in the design software. It's a pain to customize. Oh, it's like Bootstrap, pretty much copy and paste components, but if you want to customize, it's a pain. Yeah, I think I would prefer Tailwind. Yeah, so I think like probably as a beginner, maybe it's helpful to use those things, right? Because you really don't need to think about all the states and everything, and it's kind of like giving you those things out of the box. But that's also given that your design is aligned with them. But yeah, I can imagine. Bootstrap also has like a very hacky way to change, to customize things. Yeah. I guess those things are helpful where you just need something fast. You just boom, have it. But yeah. The more you code, the less you want to deal with those things, actually. Because I think also, like, if we invest the time in learning Tailwind and finding our way how to work with Tailwind, then you could still be fairly fast, because then you kind of like develop the skill and you already know kind of like your go-to styles for buttons, links, and things like that. It's more kind of like a learning curve, I guess. Yeah, I think it's good if you need something for a quick, like an MVP, or if you don't care much about having a specific style. Yeah, I guess that's. Yeah. Maybe for people without coding background, that can be, or without anything related to coding, designers maybe, if they want to quickly do something. That could be one option, right? Yeah, so we're doing Tailwind. Sometimes words come out very weird in pronunciation. I have that in any language, actually. Well, except of Hebrew. Like in Russian, I also like, sometimes I say things and my friends are just like, what was that? Okay. So let's create these components. Let's at least leave today's stream with one component being done. Although I love talking and I think it's awesome that we're like catching up. But I also want to be mindful of the people who are rewatching it in recording and they're like, where the hell is the code, Daniela? Where's the code? So I've also read that it's easy to use Tailwind with pure CSS, which I like. Oh, yeah? Oh, would you mean then there is a thing in Tailwind, right, that you can create your own button, for example, and then do apply, and then do margin 3, text yellow, and then it can be, then you can use this dot button on something else. And that's also really cool. How many languages do you speak? 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6, I would say. Yeah. Hey, Abraham. What's up? So, okay. Back to the components. In the component, do I have it already? It's price range. So again, let's create an index.js, etc price range. Copy this and create another file, price range.jsx, and rcc price range. Cool. Now we go to the sidebar, and in here we're gonna have our price range. Do you speak Portuguese from Brazil? No, I don't. But Portuguese, I was watching one reality TV show, and it was in Brazil, and it's so interesting to listen to it because sometimes like the R's and the way how like the deep sounds go, it really reminds me of how Russian is being pronounced, which for me is like it's one of my mother tongues, so it's kind of like I have like this instinct sometimes to be like, wait, was that? Wait, was that? So it's funny to me to hear that. So, where are we? We can close that. Price range. And what do we have here? So we are going to have, let's use an H4 for select price, which is the thing that we have here. That's what we're building right now. Now, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, I'm sorry. Do you like Django Python? I have no experience with Django Python, but though if I were to learn a new language, I think I would go with Python. But first I need to master JavaScript. There's still so much to learn here. Which reality show, about cooking or a bunch of people living inside a house? It was the Love is Blind. I don't know if you know it. It's actually started, it's like a Netflix original series. I'm just watching it with a friend and we're always like laughing at it. And then there was a Brazilian version. There's also a Japanese version now, and there's also a new American version. It's actually pretty funny, like when you look at it, but it's just, you know, when you have nothing else to do or when you're cooking or something, I just like put some shows that I don't need to invest my brain into and I'll watch it. And it's also interesting because you kind of like, you watch it with subtitles, so you still hear the languages. And I really love hearing different languages. Like to me, it's super nice. Sorry if the water is too loud. I'm pouring a glass of water because my throat gets dry. What is the famous Brazilian cooking show? Is there one? I feel like there is one, and I feel like I've seen it. You like my work, Abraham? Thanks. But actually, Getulio, the Love is Blind is sort of people living inside a house, but that's not like the whole thing, right? It's like, I mean, people in general live in a house. But it's about people meeting in pods. So basically they're sitting in play. So they're like 14 men, 14 women, and it's a dating show. And they need to decide who they're gonna marry, and they are only able to hear their potential mates, I don't know, partners. They're not able to see them or anything, just hearing them. And then they meet, and then it's that kind of stuff. In my country, MasterChef is a reality show of cooking. It's kind of interesting. Oh, really? Do they take real chefs or not? And then find who the master is after that? Thanks for sharing. You're welcome. As I was saying, I worked with pure CSS. That's why I used Bootstrap, because it provides some basic helpful classes and it's so easy. And we also have a lot of Bootstrap free templates for save time. Yeah, so the templates were one of the points for MVPs indeed, to have it easier to come up with something super fast. Yeah, so it's real chefs. Okay. It has 3 seasons. I mean, but a master chef is a thing that is super common now, right? Everybody's also apart from everybody's now cooking because everybody's at home. I've heard that. It's quite a big brand, isn't it? Hey, Mosen, I don't understand. Okay, so we said H4, select price. Let's also give this a class name of background gray. Is it with A? Yeah, I was asking, do you have Instagram? Abraham, I would like you to look at the right corner of the screen and there is an Instagram icon and a username there. I'm waiting for the last episode of Love is Blind. Oh, of the 2nd season? They still don't have it? I thought, didn't they release it on the 22nd? Or was it one? So there are 2 left, right? I'm still on the, so no spoilers. I'm still on the point when they're in Mexico. I'm still I postponed watching it because I wanted to watch it all at once when everything is released. Yes. Damn. Do you also find parallels between the 1st season and the 2nd season? It's they kind of have the same-ish type of couples or people that actually match with each other. It is in Persian, means awesome. Thank you. Lol, you need to go job. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna do this tomorrow. If I would not be streaming right now, I would be catching up. But priority. Okay, let me add background and then some margins that I have already defined. Excuse me. PY4 and PX6. Sophisticated already, isn't it? I don't even remember season 1, lol, I want to watch it. Wait, what was the name? Georgina, right? Gigi? And then Jessica? And then Brand? I think? Those were the highlights. Well, of course, the couple, what's their name? Cameron and Lauren. Yeah. I have a lot to say about Love is Blind. We could have a whole live about this show. I know, right? I know. Me too. Okay, I'm gonna watch the second season until the end, and then we can talk. Okay, H4. So you see how here the font is a little bit different than here, so I decided to make it font Krona. And then needs to be smaller. And so margin button. Boom. Nice. Okay. Now we have two squares, so input fields, where you can input the minimum and the maximum price that you want. We are going to put them in a div. Okay, this is going a little bit. This song is called I Can Still Rap Though. Let's hear what that person has to tell us. Okay. That's what you get with free music, you know? That's what's up. No, I'm sorry. That didn't last long. Let me quick find another playlist. After Friday, once the last episode is released. I'm sorry, I'm going to let you code and just look now. No, you can still keep on texting. That's the fun. Okay, let's go with R&B. So, what did I want to do? Nothing yet, because I still don't have any elements inside. So let's do input. It's gonna be of a type text, and I'll show you why. And then we also have like a yellow line, and that's gonna be just like a horizontal line that we're gonna style. There we go. Let's style our horizontal line so we're gonna see it. Class name. So it has a border, and then border yellow. The width of it is full because it needs to kind of like stretch. And okay, let me show you what's gonna happen. It's actually fine for now. Let's keep it like that. So now they're again stacked one on top of each other because that's the native behavior of it. So we need I'm sorry if I'm gonna start coughing because I think I've spoken a lot. Maybe let me just code without talking. Let's experiment if that's gonna last long. That feels awkward. I'm not gonna resort to that tactic. So now it's a little bit funky because the divs are within a 250 pixel column, so they're kind of like flowing and everything. We're gonna make them smaller because we also don't need them to be that big. Let's go with class names. So the width is gonna be 20 and should be good. And then another one here. Yeah. Now you see the yellow line is on the top because it doesn't have any height. So we need to, is it self-center? Yeah, self-center. There you go. So it takes basically the height of this container, the whole thing, so this whole div, and it centers it by itself in the middle. What laptop do you recommend for coding streams? Cruce. Al cruce. Cruce is freaking awesome. I think I've been there 3 times the last time I went to Mallorca. Who is Carlex? Do we know each other? Is that Gear? My #1 fan from Mallorca. Okay, so let me show you why we decided to go with text and not with number. Number is going to add us these crappy arrows, which, I'm sorry, it's not crappy. It's supposed to be there, right? Because if you're a number, it's supposed to be there. But we're not gonna go with that. We're gonna go with text. So now you see that you have the rings, like once you once you click on it, it's blue. Don't remove that. That's essential for navigation, for screen readers, it has to be there. But with Tailwind, what you can do is to actually change the color of it, which is kind of cool, right? I'm going to copy now some classes, because there are a lot of them. So we can go through them. Oxycoder says, yeah, the number spinner is not a great experience. Yeah, I mean, I guess it is a good experience when you need it, but I'm actually not sure when you need it. Like, you should be able to have a keyboard, right? In order to insert numbers. So I'm not sure. So what did we add here? We added a focus. Basically, in Tailwind, you can define that you want to have some classes only specifically when some state happens. So in our case, it's a focus. So once it's focused, it has a ring with a width of 2. The ring color is yellow and it's inset. So it's inside of the box and not outside of the box. If you're not gonna do that, then it's gonna be outside. Let me put it on the other one so you would see the difference. It's not that big of a difference, but you see? Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. I like the smaller one. Cool. So now we can do this. I think we're missing text center. Yeah. There we go. And you see how it's like cramped now? We also need to give it a padding. I actually like going with even numbers for paddings. Don't know why. That's just like my thing. But also the thing about like Tailwind. Here you go. See like weird accents coming out. The thing about utility libraries is that you have so many options that you need to find. You need to still keep some sort of design consistency. Like you should not be doing, for example, padding 11 and padding 5 and padding 23. That's, unless you're like some sort of like design gurus and there is like some vision within the design, most likely something is gonna be off, because keeping a consistency with such a big variety and big difference between the paddings, or like just like the units, is gonna be quite hard to align at some point. And if you keep it, you don't have to do it like 2, 4, 6. You can also do 1, 3, 5 or 1, 5, 10 or 2, 4, whatever. You get the point. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't mean that if you have all the utility classes that you need to use all of them. They are there in order for you not to need to override them or reinvent them, but it doesn't mean that every website or every project needs to use all of it, right? Still keep it consistent, because otherwise you're going to have troubles aligning things. And alignment is quite important. So, we need to, what do we need? So for now, well, we could add a placeholder just so it's not empty. Placeholder can be min, and this can be max. So is it going to refresh itself, or let's refresh it. Min max. Do we want to add the min and max under? We could, right? It's gonna mess up with our flex situation though. But that's fine. We can just create another div here, put it here, and then here we can have, well, actually a label, right? HTML4. I always forget, how does it work? So this one needs to be a name, right? And this is going to be max. And HTML4 max, right? It's going to have max. Is it? Always this HTML label and input. It's important because so why do you need this HTML4? Because usually it's also for accessibility reasons, in order to understand what this label is referring to which input field, as well as I think if you click on that label, then it should automatically automatically focus on the input that it's responsible for. So how do we connect the two? Associating a label with an input element offers major advantages. You can read about that. So for and name. So I did it right. Is it because I added those focus stuff? Let me remove that for a sec. No. Okay. Does it need to be above it? Now I'm just inventing stuff. That cannot be the case. No. So, what's the deal? So you see when you click on those things, then it can do like automatically the check for the checkbox. I don't need an ID, right? I do. All right. Keep it like this. So you need the name, the ID, and the HTML4 in React. Usually that would be just 4, but in React you need to write HTML4. All right. Copy this, go up, and here we can do min and min, and oh yeah, we need another div. And do you know why we need another div? Let me show you what happens if we don't, because I skipped through that. But maybe you're like, wait a second, why did she add another div? So this one is for min and for min. So the idea is to have a min, like this max, in here. And let's see what we get. Boom. Our min went right here because it's now a direct child of the flexed div. So we want input and label to be in one column, and for that we're wrapping them in a div. Okay. There we go. Now we can do text center. Yep. And here also. Cool. And we can also do like text small. Yeah. Oh no, our yellow thingy went down. I don't like it anymore. Okay. Let's add a margin bottom of 2. Yeah. And what do we do with the yellow thingy? So you see, that's our flexy thing. So we have one div, another element, and another div. And this one is centered here. We could trick the system by having, so this is a hacky hack. Do not repeat at home. Okay? Yeah. Don't repeat it because it doesn't work. I guess since we could assume the height of it, give the yellow line a line cell flex start and maybe give it some border top. Flex start, you're saying? Margin top, of course, not border top. Yeah. I mean, we could just remove the self-center, right? Because that's what put it in the center. And yeah, I was also thinking to give it a margin then. Let's do a margin top of 4. Yeah, I guess. Right? Let's remove the flex. Yeah. I actually want to have this as extra small. Yeah, cool. So now this can be removed. Hi, hello. No, actually that's fine. But maybe it belongs more here. Where's the text? We have here text. There we go. So let's add text small here, remove it from here. And then in the class name, text XS. Yeah, and then the margin bottom seems a little bit excessive, right? Like 1 should be enough. Or maybe none. Yeah, none is fine. Oops, no. Yay! Okay, I'm actually pretty happy with how it looks. I'm wondering if we should give it like some round borders here. Let's check. Well, we don't have them here. Yeah, okay, fuck it. I gotta skip the round borders, corners, if nobody wants it. I don't want it either. Design consistency, right? Like half a year ago we chose that, so let's stick with that. Probably if that would be a real product, there would be already a redesign of it. But, oh well. We're keeping it stream real, you know? Okay. Okay, why is this love songs here? We don't do love songs here. We have enough on Love is Blind. Ooh, epic beat. Yeah. What is that? I mean, let's roll with it for now. Okay, so now we have our next thing, categories bar. I'm wondering why it says that I'm streaming for 16 minutes. Did I went offline at some point? Did I go offline at some point? No. I think we're all here, right? Okay. When it comes to these categories on the right side, for the categories bar, if we're thinking where to get them from, so if you were a business, you would most likely not get them from an API. You would probably have them hard-coded. I don't know if that's right though, but that's the most use cases that I have seen so far. So we're gonna go with that. We're gonna hard-code it. And where are we going to take it from? So I created a thing. I told you I came prepared. I did a good job. Cannot say I didn't. I created a folder called constants. And from those constants folder is where we're going to be getting some hard-coded data that we're not going to be necessarily hard-coding in a React file, because we have loops, we have things, and it's also kind of like a separation of concerns. So you could get the data from there, but you're not going to be hard-coding the data necessarily in that component. That's also a way of structuring your app when you have, in our case, that's not going to be the case because we have this categories bar only in one place. But let's say you have it in a couple of places. So you don't want to, you want to have just like one resource of this information coming in. And then let's say you need to adjust it, then you adjust it only in one place in, for example, a separate file in constants. So we're gonna call it categories.js. And it's just gonna export this thing. So I pasted it. What does it have? It's export const categories. I like to define my const data in capitalized variables. I just think it's more descriptive in a way that, hey, this is coming from somewhere. It's not a variable within this code. It's like from other places. That was probably a very sucky explanation, but I think the point was clear. So it's an array. Each element in the array is an object that has a name, which is the main category, and it has subcategories, which are, for example, foundation, blush, and bronzer. So in this case, I just went to the API when it was still working, and I saw which categories it has, so we could eventually search by those categories and actually get data. Because the idea of this UI is when you have like a skincare or makeup or something, you want to enable the user to click on makeup, for example, and get all the results that they can see that are related to the makeup subcategory or category in their case. And that's why we have what we have here. For example, lips have lipstick and lip liner, eyes have eyebrow, eyeliner, eyeshadow, mascara. Nail polish doesn't have anything. And that's our category bar. Let's change again the music. Because it's just weird. Energizing tunes. Technology sound. Let's go with technology sound. That sounds good. Okay. Where is... What did I want to show you? Nothing. Okay, we're in categories bar. Did we create this component already? No. So we're in the sidebar where we have our price range, and now we have the categories bar. So let's create categories bar. Index.js, etc, categories bar, GS6. Cool. And now here we need to import our categories. Import categories, and lovely VS Code automatically auto-completes the path, because who has time for that? Now let's just do a loop. And how we do it is just categories.map. Cat. And what are we gonna do? We have a name. Okay, so we need to have a div first. And it has to have a key. Cat.name seems like an appropriate key name. Inside of that div, we want to display the category name. So h4 cat.name. And we also want to display the subcategories. And that's gonna be in a list. We're gonna loop again, but on cat.subcategories.map subcat. I close the bar. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can still see stuff. Subcategory, and this one is going to have an li key. It's going to be subcat.name. Was it a name? No, it was just subcat, right? Yeah. Was it? Yes. Will it be enough to have just subcat? What was our data? Wait a second. I didn't save it even. So foundation, blush, yeah, they're unique. So we can, it will suffice to have a key just as a subcat. And of course here, the subcat. And by the way, another thing that I always forget is to import the component. But Brenda already said that. That was covered. Import export. So let's do categories bar. Look at that, fancy, fancy. Streams are really good for my water intake because my throat gets dry and I have to drink. Wow, right. Wait a second. I had to go to another room to cough in order not to be in your ears. Sorry. That's another thing about coming back to streaming, is that I need to train my vocal strings. Is that the name? Because they're getting tired. Okay, so let's design the categories bar. I'm gonna do it silently, okay? For the sake of my throat. Just follow. If you have any questions, let me know. Now that I'm thinking about it, I did it as H4UL analyze. I'm actually wondering if this should have been links. And when you click on that link, it should bring you, like it should change the params of the URL. So then if you want to share that link with somebody, they would also see the same results as you do. Let me write that down. Maybe we can do that tomorrow or Friday. When do you want to stream? When do you want to meet on stream? Thursdays or Fridays? Probably Thursdays, right? But I don't know if I'm ready to stream tomorrow yet. Okay. Which is better, Vue or React? What do you think? I don't know what is better. I don't think there is such thing which one is better. I like both. I think at the end it boils down to personal preferences. But it's not like one of them is better because of some technical excellence in X or Y. I think it's the same. It's just like different colors, you know? That's how I see it, at least. I don't know. I used to like only Vue, and I think I'm saying it in every stream. I used to really love only Vue. But then React came with React hooks, and I also got a job that uses React heavily and left a job that used Vue heavily. So kind of transitioned to React. And I don't mind it at all. I actually think that React is pretty cool. I do think that the industry, including myself, we don't understand React fully, or we don't use React fully. Also due to its very, very poor documentation, which they're working on. I know about that, but still, React has been for quite some time on the market, and you know, things have not been easy. Vue, on the other hand, has awesome docs and awesome community. So I don't know. Maybe we should do some projects in Vue as well, because Vue is pretty cool. And I still didn't use Vue 3, so I don't know about like the newest stuff in Vue. But yeah. Nice live stream. Thanks for the help. I gotta go now. See you. Thank you for joining, Getulio. Have a good day, I think, right? Or evening, I don't know. See you next time. So let's add some background. Did I add all the classes I wanted? I think so. Okay, now maybe this doesn't have to be a div. We can just keep it like this. And this can be the main div of the thing, right? And then I think I have another class. Yeah. So I have in the sidebar, I have here a div, which I don't know why, but you could also put it inside of the categories bar, because the categories bar is going to be only like that. It's not somewhere that you need to actually, you know, think of embedding it. But anyway, let's do BG gray 200 as we did in the price range component. Then we do some padding 6, padding Y2, margin bottom 4. Actually, for some reason, in all my projects that I do by myself, for myself, maybe for somebody else, doesn't matter, in the ones that I code and I have like the decision on the design stuff, margin bottom is always going to be 4. I don't know what it is. It's probably my personal touch, my signature margins. But yeah. There we go. Now it looks like something, doesn't it? Thinks it looks pretty nifty. Is nifty a good word? I don't know. I keep saying it without even knowing what it means. What does nifty mean? Elegant. Cool. Let's say that's what I meant. Class name, I want to add padding left of 8. But I told you that's not a good idea, because where this 8 came from, we have 2, 4, 6. Okay, 8 is just like another incremental of 2, but still, what if we do just 6? It's also fine, right? Cool, I really like it. Don't be bothered by this space here because it's gonna be pushed down as soon as we have more things. So for example, we're probably gonna have a banner. We could actually put the banner now. Let's do that. Because we can reuse a banner that we have from the main page. The API is back! Yay! Look, we have back the product! Yay! Cool. So we could continue later on. Yay! Well, here you see, we don't really care that the API is back because we didn't ask for any product. But yeah, so now if you click on it, here's the thing. Yay, and we have a for you suggestions. Look how beautiful this is. Take a second to appreciate how far we've come with this project. Okay, now we can continue. So let's take this banner. For that we will need to go to home. And we have a main banner, top products. What about top products? What does it have? Secondary banner. Is that it? Does it leave us to slash about? Yes. Toothbrush and a paste laying on top of a green leaf. I didn't change the alt tag apparently. A bundle of creams standing next to each other of cream products or containers. How do you call these things? You know this thing that when you know several languages, you feel stupid in every language because it's like you cannot be like, because you need to speak in several languages constantly, then kind of like the level of your knowledge goes to like to the things, to the words that you use the most, and it kind of makes you feel that you're stupid in every language rather than smart in one. That's how I feel, especially now. So maybe that's why I'm trying not to learn any other coding language, because I'm trying to be smart in JavaScript and keep it like that. Or those are just excuses I'm saying. Or those are just excuses I tell myself. So let's use this banner on top here. We need to add another wrapper, and here secondary banner. Let's see how it looks. Let's go to the search. Not nice. Okay, then we can call it header banner. It's gonna be a new component. We're going to create it now quickly. Save it. We're gonna copy this. So you click on the secondary banner. I go to components and I paste it. And I'm going to name it header banner. I mean, ideally you would not create separate components for just like moving the things, you know, because why I disregarded the banner that we had before, it's because it had like a specific position. In an ideal world, I would adjust that position and make it dependent on the parent where that banner is being used. But I'm being lazy right now and I just want to copy paste things and just create another banner. So that's what I'm gonna do. Jara says hi, hello, what is up? Yeah, you see, so CSS be gone. Where's the header banner? Banner. Header. Boom, boom, boom. Header, banner. Whoa, what is going on? Header, banner, CSS we need to remove. We also don't need a button link. It's just gonna be an informative banner. We're not having any links anywhere. Header banner, copy this, and let's go to the index because we probably cannot find it. There we go. Why are you still like that? Excuse me? Wait. Because it has banner secondary? Yeah. So now this needs to be like 100. Yes, very small. PY is 8. Fine, and you? I'm also fine, thank you. Yeah. Medium pixel 20. What am I doing here? What am I changing? I don't understand. So I have a container that has a flex and does items center and justify between. Then I mean, what is this? Why? Okay. I see now. Well, I don't want this. Wrong. Maybe I don't want the container. Yeah. And I'm gonna do MX4. Yep. Oh no, why do you move it? No. Maybe I want to put it in here. Like this, and the class name here should be MX4. And there we go. Well, maybe we're gonna do it 6 because we know that this padding left is 6. So we're gonna keep it unified, and margin bottom is gonna be 4. Cool. I also don't like the font being thick. What if we do H4? Is it smaller? No, it doesn't care. Text base. Now if I do small. Small is fine, I guess. I think I need another image here. This one doesn't work. It's too blah. Right? But I created that image because I thought that's what we need. Where do we have some assets? Let's check. Materials, starter files. Well, probably no assets. Well, it's fine. Anyhow, let's then keep it as is. Cool. So, friends, I think we're done for today. We have done quite a thing. Apart from talking a lot and chatting, and I'm so happy to be back, and I hope that this is a start of a series again, and not crap hitting the fan, and then me not doing streams. So I'll try to be consistent. I'm not sure about the end of this week because I have some live stuff that I need to do, but what do you say if we meet next week? Let me open my calendar. Wait a second. When are we gonna meet? Where are you, calendar? So on next Wednesday. What do you say? Let's say that for sure we're gonna meet next Wednesday. I'm not sure about the rest of the week, this week. Probably not, because there is tons of shit to do. But next Wednesday we can make it happen. And maybe also Friday, next Friday, we'll see. But Wednesday for sure. So 2nd of March, Wednesday. This was fun. Thanks, Dana. Thank you so much, Brenda, for staying and for the fun with the Love is Blind. That was super cool. And thank you for joining. I so appreciate it. Okay, so I am going to push those changes, this progress that we made. And I am gonna see you next Wednesday, 2nd of March. If you cannot attend, then be sure to watch the recordings. I'm always gonna keep them live and up. And yeah, I'm gonna wish you a good day, good evening, wherever you are. Stay safe and see you next time. Bye. Thanks, Jabber, for the sub. How we can discuss next week, Wednesday, for sure. Really enjoyed it. See you next time. Thank you, everybody. I am going to end this stream.